Ayesha Khan is standing by at the Eric Greitens headquarters right there in Chesterfield at the watch party there. Ayesha Khan, take it away. How's it going out there?
Well, Jamie, can you hear all the cheering in the background? That's because Eric Greitens should be taking that podium shortly, in about 10 or 15 minutes out. Earlier tonight, before this whole thing started, he greeted the reporters, telling them that he feels great about tonight, thanking his volunteers, his family, his friends, and saying that the people of Missouri are standing up and ready to take Missouri in a new direction. So let me take you back to what I've been witnessing all night here, which is nothing but clapping and cheering, and some very enthusiastic people who are obviously for Greitens to take the governor's seat. And as you can hear right now, they're cheering Eric, Eric, Eric. So he should be taking the stage pretty soon. As you can see, Catherine Hanaway right up front, right there behind me. So we're going to keep an eye on this and listen in to what he has to say. And you know, I have to say both sides, both races have said that they're expecting this race to be getting tighter and tighter as the night goes on. But so far, from what I've been keeping an eye on, my numbers here, it looks like a little over 687,000 votes for Greitens in a 42% of the precincts reporting. So yeah, we're going to be here. We're going to be part of this party and let you know how it all goes down.
All right, Ayesha Khan, thanks so much, and we'll check back with you maybe towards the end of the show. Appreciate you very much. And so Ayesha Khan, who is standing by, probably a very happy operation out there at the Greitens campaign headquarters in Chesterfield, the Jewelry Inn. Ayesha Khan, what's going on?
Hey, Jamie, well, I guess we're just trying to figure out where the after party is going to be while we wait for Greitens to take the podium. Those two monitors back there said Greitens wins. That means all these people are going to be celebrating him becoming the governor of Missouri. So, you know, tonight when he came in earlier tonight, when he greeted reporters, he said he felt great about tonight, and rightfully so, because I'm pretty sure that's what he's going to be talking about once he gets up on the stage. He was thanking his volunteers, he was thanking his family and his friends, saying that he's grateful for them working on his campaign. He also added that the people of Missouri are standing up and are ready to take Missouri in a new direction. So look at this crowd. A lot of them actually were just holding up placards. This one guy walked around and hanging out posters to everyone. So like I said, we're waiting for Greitens to take the stage here. We're told in maybe the next 10 or 15 minutes or so. And we're going to have to wait and see what he has to say about his win.
All right, very interesting, Ayesha Khan. Too young to vote, but not too young to know what's happening in the world of politics. All reporter Ayesha Khan meeting with a group of kids and some college students to find out how this year's particularly heated election has been affecting their lives.
Nice job, Joshua.
While today is the official day to cast your vote, fourth grade students at Mason Elementary School in St. Louis have already cast their ballots in mock elections.
I voted for Donald Trump because normally, I want Hillary Clinton to be president, but some people say bad things about her and she's going to mess the world up.
I don't really like both of them, kind of, so I don't really I try not to pay attention.
But for students and teachers alike, this year's primary season is starkly different from any in recent memory.
In some instances, class discussions are a little more contentious than they are in other years.
There have been some students that have expressed concern that, you know, am I going to be able to stay here? What is my status going to be here?
Just about every student from elementary up through college is aware of the tone, rhetoric, and catchphrases of this particular campaign season. When I spoke with these young kids, their response to this year's election impact was very similar to what some political science students at UMSL had to say.
Being a Muslim in this country, I particularly don't feel threatened by what he says, but I'm more concerned about how other people that he appeals to kind of take the message.
Like Donald Trump, he wanted to build a gate, in front of people who wanted to get in the United States, but they now, if he becomes president, they can't get in, and that's going to be selfish because he wants to keep the world to himself.
Educators say for some students, the campaign is personal and their support or opposition to candidates, especially to one candidate mainly, is intense.
So much of the attention has focused on personal qualities of the candidates, whether they're trustworthy, whether they're saying outrageous things.
I go home and I look in the mirror and I'm still a woman, and I have to grapple with the facts of how this is going to affect me personally as a woman and other women in my family, my sisters, my mothers, young nieces and nephews. And
Kids Voting Missouri has been around for 20 years. Results haven't been posted just yet, but I'm told that in the metro area, about 190,000 students K through 12 had the opportunity to vote. More than 16,000 students cast their ballots. That's a higher percentage than those who did in 2008 and in 2012. Jamie.
All right, welcome back. More voting issues to talk about. Can someone who has committed a crime and then served their time be allowed to vote? Well, Missouri law says absolutely, and rightly so. But if you're the victim or the family of a victim, would you agree with that right? Allman reporter Ayesha Khan sat down with a St. Louis family to find out.
You don't bury your children.
21 years have gone by, but Betty Sharp says the heartache is still and will always be there.
I really was among the walking wounded. My son had been murdered and I didn't know what to do with that.
Zachary Sharp's killer has never been caught in that East St. Louis homicide, but Betty says she and her partner turned to a national support group called Parents of Murdered Children. The group helped them deal with part of the grief by sharing their story with prisoners.
We hope it has an impact on changing their mentality, because even if some of them have committed murder, they're going to get out. We got to do everything we can to integrate them back into society.
The couple believes that despite the fact of past choices, rehabilitation for those criminals is possible.
If you're going to come back to society and be accepted, and it can't be easy for them to do it, I think the rights that they have as a citizen should be restored.
And that includes the right to vote, which is Missouri law.
Under the law, that person has been tried, convicted, or found guilty. They've been sentenced. They've served their sentence is complete, so they've done their time basically. They've paid their debt to society, so they have been welcomed back into society as regular citizens.
The couple says getting to share their story with those who have caused harm to society has made them more open-minded about building a relationship with them.
You find out who they are. They're people. They're just people. Some making bad choices, some having a harsh beginning. I just don't want to carry baggage of judging others.
Now, if someone was convicted for a felony involving election fraud or voting fraud, that voting right is not reinstated, and that person has to seek a pardon from the governor of the state of Missouri. I also looked at Illinois and Kansas, and they're almost identical to Missouri laws when it comes to voting rights. Jamie?